Alright, hey you guys, it is TsubakiSwagg, and I'm coming to you with my review of School Live episode 10, Rainy Day. And oh my gosh, this episode was so freaking intense. Like, I was sitting on the edge of my bed the whole 22 minutes. And oh my god, this episode was so freaking intense. I wasn't prepared at all. I say that on every episode that comes out on anything, but for this, I really was not prepared. Like, it was that freaking intense. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the epicness and the sadness and just, oh my god. I have to mentally get my thoughts together because this episode really threw me for a loop. But I called so many different things. So I guess I'll start from the beginning. Like, last episode, Toromaru ran into the barricade and the last thing we saw was him barking at Megu-nee. So, like, the next morning when they woke up and they were all, well, Kurumi, Yuki, Yuri, and Miki were all in the School Live classroom when they realized that Toromaru wasn't there and he had been gone. Well, like, he hadn't came back. So Miki and Yuki went looking for him. Yuri stayed in the room and Kurumi went to search the other floors by herself. And while all this is happening, it's raining, so there are a lot of zombies trying to get into the school to get out of the rain. So while, like, they didn't even show Yuki and Miki looking because we already know that he wasn't up there, so they weren't going to find anything. But Kurumi went down into, well, she was walking the floors calling out for him, and she had gone upstairs first and was looking, like, in the garden area and couldn't find him, and she happened across Megu-nee's cross with her bow on it. And they had a little flashback and explained why Megu-nee's hair was short. She had cut it short because she said it was supposed to help her look older, because Megu-nee looks like she's the same age as all of them. So Kurumi saw this flashback of her, and then she went down below, which first, like, she almost got by some zombies. She ran, she saw Toromaru's footprints leading down, and she was like, I don't know why he would go down here, blah blah blah. So she went downstairs and she happened across the room where that was marked on the map that's supposed to have pretty much the bomb shelter. But when she got there, Toromaru came out, but Toromaru wasn't Toromaru anymore, and he tried to attack her, and Kurumi couldn't even bring herself to kill him. She locked him in a room where she was freaking out like Toromaru was about to take her head off. I mean, that's how zombies are, but it still really freaking sucked, and I felt so freaking bad for Kurumi. And I called it at the beginning of the episode because in the opening they showed, like, how normally it's like Yuki running across the screen. They actually showed Toromaru, like, run across the screen by himself. So I had a really bad feeling from the start that it was going to have something to do with Toromaru. Like, Toromaru wasn't going to be with us anymore. So Toromaru is a zombie, which really freaking sucks. And it made me feel even worse for Miki because he had finally warmed up to Miki and let him play with her, let her play with him, and let her pet him and all that good stuff. So that really freaking sucked, and it made me so freaking sad. But so Toromaru's a zombie. It hurt my heart so bad. And then, of course, and I was really hoping, and I said this before, that I didn't want them to actually see Megu-nee's zombie because I think that they would probably flip out. And I was absolutely right. And it ended up being Kurumi seeing Megu-nee's zombie. And Kurumi, she knew it was her as soon as she saw her, and she went to attack her, and as soon as she got in her face, she stopped. And I was like, why are you stopping? If you're gonna do it, don't just stand there and look like an idiot. And then she ended up getting bit. So now Kurumi is turning into a zombie, which really freaking sucks. So she made it back upstairs, and I think Yuri is going to be the one to snap. And I also have a theory about that too. I'll get to that momentarily. So they were trying to help Kurumi. And Yuri ended up chaining Kurumi down to the sofa because she was turning. But Kurumi is having like this fever dream. She's sitting in a room by herself, and there are zombies outside of this room, and Tsurumaru was in there, and at first he was like all happy and wagging his tail, and then when she went to go pet him, he turned into a zombie again, and she backed up, and then she hears Megu-nee's voice saying, "Open the door, why won't you open the door for me, blah blah blah," and that leads me to believe that they're not as innocent as they seem. And I want to say that it might not have necessarily been Kurumi that did it, but I have a really strong feeling that Yuri is the reason why Megu-nee was locked out. I mean, I understand them wanting to protect themselves because she was going to turn because she got bitten, but I think Yuri locked Megu-nee out. Megu-nee didn't go willingly, and I also think that's what caused Yuki to go insane. So, and then there was also a part that led me to all of this was when Yuri was looking at Kurumi, and Kurumi was like turning, and she pulled a wrapped up like butcher knife out of a bag, and that was another thing that led me to believe that they've probably used that before, which is not surprising and surprising all at the same time. So I really do feel like Yuri is hiding something, and the reason why Yuki is the way she is because of something that Yuri or Kurumi did to Megu-nee. So other than that, so Kurumi's turning, and they found out Miki went through the papers that were talking about the underground shelter, and it said that there was medicine down there. So apparently it might be medicine that's supposed to counteract the bioweapon. But I honestly don't even think they're going to be able to get to it because of the way this episode ended. Like, they showed all the zombies were coming in the school. They finally broke the barricades. And even Yuri said that they didn't have any more boards or nails. So the barricade, they wouldn't be able to barricade anymore. So, yeah, they're pretty freaking screwed right now. Which really freaking sucks. Kurumi's dying. Miki couldn't even. She was being brave and she was going to go down into the cellar to find something to help, but she couldn't even bring herself to do it because Kurumi told them that Tsurumaru got turned, and it's just this whole freaking episode. And then on top of that, Yuki is starting to not be crazy anymore, because at one point she was like looking out the window and she just saw that it was raining, and she said it was raining like on that day, and I'm guessing that day is either the day that the incident happened or the day that Megu-nee was killed or sacrificed herself. So, and then after that she was like, she's like, why is the window broken? So she's starting to actually notice things, because we all know that in Yuki's mind, she sees everything as it was before any of this stuff happened. Like, the school is clean and pristine and neat like it was before the incident happened. So the fact that she noticed that the window was broken is leading me to believe that she actually is starting to become coherent, and she is starting to understand what is actually going on, which is a little bit scarier than even Kurumi becoming a zombie. So I honestly feel like within the next 2 episodes, they're not going to be able to make it out to school. And I was going to say, I hope that they would be able to make it. Kurumi was probably their only chance of actually getting past the zombies, because she was the one who always fought them. So, but actually I just thought about something, because they still do have that keychain that stopped the zombies in their tracks. So if they were able to use that and it actually works, then that would be pretty freaking awesome. They might be able to get out of the school while all the zombies are inside the school, because then they would be free range and they wouldn't have to worry about really outrunning anything, because they'd all be inside. But this episode is so freaking sad. It hurt my heart so bad. I was not prepared. Was not prepared for the sadness of this episode. But other than that, it was freaking awesome. And I really don't have any high hopes for them, which would explain the end of the outro of this show. The new outro that they made with all, like, when it was like blood on the floor and there's a butcher knife and all that good stuff. So I honestly don't think they're gonna make it out of the school. And even in the preview, they showed like Yuki barricaded herself in a room and all this kind of stuff. So I am and I'm not looking forward to next week's episode. I'm looking forward to it because I really want to see what happens, but I'm not looking forward to it because I don't want anybody else to die, and I really don't want Kurumi to die because that would really freaking suck because Kurumi was my favorite character in this whole show. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this, that I was absolutely right, that Megu-nee was the one who was writing in the notebook, and it showed it at the end of this episode. They showed her like sitting at the desk. She was sitting at the desk and like blood was dripping out of her mouth, which I know it was from Kurumi, which is really freaking morbid, but it showed her like sitting at the desk with the notebook in front of her with the lamp on. So she went down there, I think she went down there when she was becoming a zombie and started writing, and she just started turning as she was writing, which would explain why her handwriting was so jumbled and messed up. So I was right when I said that it was Megu-nee. So yay, I feel accomplished but sad at the same time because I really didn't want it to be true. So yeah. So yeah, really freaking sucks, but it's still awesome all the same. So yeah. So as always, I would love to hear how you guys felt about this episode. How do you feel about the way things turned out? And who do you think is going to die, or who do you think might die next, or what do you think is going to happen? So yeah, so as always, please remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. It helps me out a whole lot. And this is TsubakiSwagg saying adios.